I want you to meet two girls that are not getting the notoriety on social media that they deserve.
These two 19-year-old girls are heroes and they deserve to be recognized, okay? When everything started, there was just rain and panic, okay? These two wrote every last girl's name on their arm just in case they didn't make it so that they would be identified. How smart is that? And how many people could do that in the midst of crisis? Silvana, Valdez, and Maria Zárate. They were in charge of 20 girls on that day. They had no parents, no power, no signal on that day. But instead of flipping out, they stayed calm. They also stayed brave and they started to move the girls to higher ground. But see, in the midst of all of this, they did not give up hope. They sang to the girls. They even played games, but most importantly, they prayed with them. Every single one of those girls survived. Do you hear me? All heroes don't always wear uniforms, okay? Y'all, Silvana, Maria, say their names because they deserve it.
Not a single headline, not a trending hashtag, but had they committed a crime, the media wouldn't stop talking. Two 19-year-old Mexican girls, Silvana Garza Valdez and Maria Paula Zárate, became real-life heroes when they saved 20 young girls from the raging floodwaters of the Guadalupe River at a Texas summer camp. No cameras, no spotlight, just courage. They didn't wait to be called heroes, they became them. Their names deserve to be known. Their story deserves to be told. Honor the heroines.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. So I just happened to come across this video that's really going viral on TikTok and everyone is talking about it, and I just decided to look into it and get to understand everything about it. So there are two Mexican teen women, Silvana and Maria, who acted historically at a camp mystic by identifying the campers, keeping them calm and preparing them for evacuation. And mind you, these are two Mexican teen women. Like, I can imagine being a teen, you know, trying to save people and trying to show them what to do. And people are here actually appreciating them. And there are some people who are angry because people are out here saying that they're Mexican and saying it doesn't matter where they come from. But for me, being in a country like the United States of America, it's very important to state where they're from, because there have been some stereotypes that have been put out there about the Mexican people and everything that the new administration is pushing about immigrants. I mean, these girls help save lives, you know, and some of these kids that they help save are actually alive today because of these two girls. And some people are not happy about this, but the good number, or the big number of people that I'm seeing, is especially the Black Americans appreciating them, even people from the Hispanic community appreciating them for their good work. I want us to watch these videos together, and I would really love to know what your thoughts or what's your take on these on the comment section. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on our today's episode, credits belongs to the original creators of these videos that you're seeing on your screen. So let's just dive right ahead and we'll come back with more commentary.
Yo, did y'all see that video? The one with them two young Latina girls, Silvana Garza and Maria Paula, down in Camp Mystic during the Texas floods. Man, these girls are just 19, still basically babies. But when the water started rising at 1 a.m., they didn't panic. They stepped up. They wrote each of their campers' names on their arms in case they didn't make it. You hear me? That's something grown folks don't even think to do. They moved all 20 of their girls to higher ground, made sure they were calm, fed, packed, and ready to go. All while knowing other campers were missing and still staying strong. So yeah, next time you hear someone talk down on immigrants or young brown girls, tell them their story. Tell them about the two teenage girls who stood up in the middle of a flood, wrote names on their arms in case they didn't survive, and made sure 20 campers got out alive. Tell them about courage that didn't come with a uniform but with heart.
Did you hear about the two girls that saved 20 kids' lives at Camp Mystic? They saw danger and they started acting and acting fast. Their names are Silvana Valdez and Maria Zárate, both girls from a Mexican descent. They didn't worry about what's happening in the world. They know, but they didn't let it stop them. As they wrote each child's name on their skin, preparing for the worst, they ended up getting them out of the camp and saving their lives. These two young girls need to get more recognition, and the media needs to talk to these girls. These girls put their lives in danger to save 20 kids' lives. So, for all you people out there who are against these Mexicans and Hispanics and whatever, think about this when you want to say something bad about these people. These are good, loving people. Give these girls the recognition that they deserve.
Two young Latina girls saved 20 girls at Camp Mystic during the Texas flood. Silvana, Garza, and Maria Paula were camp counselors at Camp Mystic when the flood occurred. When they realized around 1 a.m. things were going bad, they took care of their girls, even wrote their names on their arms in case something should happen, and moved them to a safer location. Now, to a lot of people, that might not be a lot, but I'm sure those 20 girls' parents are glad that they were taken care of. They gave an interview in full Spanish yesterday where they talked about their experience. Mexican-American 19-year-olds, like still babies. Honestly, at the time where there's so much hatred towards the Latino community, these are the stories that we should be amplifying. At the age of 19, they went through something that nobody should ever go through. They kept their girls cool and collected, fed, ready to evacuate, help them secure their belongings, all while knowing what was going on, because at some point they were told that there were 20 other girls, not from their group, that were missing. They knew it too because they described seeing furniture just like flooding around near them. So thank you, Silvana y Maria Paula. A lot of you are angry with me because I said that Maria Paula and Silvana are Latinas. Heather, since you asked why I just had to mention their ethnicity, I'm going to use your page as an example as to why it's so important to elevate good news about my people. People like you, Heather, are constantly being fed hate and misinformation about Latinos, leading to the creation of stereotype biases and generalizations in your head. And I do mean you because I unfortunately look through the type of content that you're sharing, so let's roll the tape.
To all of our Mexican and Hispanic families that are rioting in Los Angeles, thank you. Thank you for confirming every stereotype, every stigma, every rumor about Mexicans.
So when people with these negative stereotypes about Latinos hear good, positive information about our community, it triggers you. It makes you mad because that information doesn't match the perception that you have of us in your head. But here's the thing, when new information counters your existing perception, your brain has the opportunity to either delete previous concepts or create a new one, quite literally helping fight stereotypes, biases, and generalization. So when I share positive news about Latinos, I'm quite literally doing it to help you.
Silvana Garza and Maria Zárate, two counselors, Mexican descent, responsible for saving over 20 young lives. 20 young lives over at Camp Mystic. I want to read some stuff to you. It's very important that you watch this because stories like this get swept under the rug because we are so devastated and mourning the death of children that the same feelings that we get of the overwhelming of the loss of life, we don't get with the same thing as the gain of life. So I want to read a couple of things to you that is absolutely incredible, what these girls have said. So I'm just going to read this off because I don't want to miss a thing. Normally I just flow and I say what's on my mind, but I want to read this stuff to you because it's so important that you take this in, that the parents that are out there with the 20 children that have the gratefulness and the blessings that they are still alive, intact, and you get to hold and kiss your children tonight is because of these two girls with so many lives that have lost. But they're quoted by saying that it was not until noon, they said, that the counselors were informed that some areas of the sprawling 725-acre campsite has been flooded, and survivors were gathering in a dining hall. The two girls said that the urgency of the situation was becoming very clear, and they began preparing the girls in their care for what might to become. They began writing the girls' names on their skin. They were trained to write the girls' names on their skin, that if God forbid that they don't make it, that they will be identified. We told them to make a bag with all of their things, whatever was most necessary to get ready to evacuate, because we are going to evacuate you. We are going to get you 20 kids out of here, and we are going to get you to safety so you can go home and hug your mommies and you can hug your daddies this night. It is on our shoulders to get you guys out of there. But we didn't know if they were going to evacuate us or not. So we wound up sitting around waiting longer than we wanted to. They attempted to calm the frightened girls with songs. They were singing songs with the girls, and they were playing games, keeping the children's backs away from the devastation as they were watching furniture and other camp equipment being washed away as the water was rising higher. But then all the girls started noticing, and they started going crazy, and they were crying because they didn't want to leave the camp, because they wanted to be with their parents. Garza Valdez said this. Okay, it was a terrible situation. I don't know how to explain it. It was something very awful. She said she and those with her didn't initially realize others at the camp have already lost their lives. What they spoke to us about at the time was that the 25 girls were missing, and that 2 were found at a nearby camp ground alive as well. They didn't tell about the 23 girls that have lost their lives, so they did not incite or get the girls upset. Nobody had their cell phones. Nobody was able to make a call. But eventually, their group was rescued by a military team that arrived at the campsite about the same time as the Coast Guard and the National Guard. And the 2 girls said, if this was a dream of being saved, please never wake me up. They didn't think it was true. They didn't understand the gravity of the situation until they were leaving on the army trucks, where they saw the devastation all around them. So what I want to personally say is thank you to the both of you. You might not ever get the notoriety or the recognition that both of you have deserved, or that you deserve. But from my platform, and from the Midnight, and every one of my followers, and from all of my subscribers, we say thank you. And we keep you in our hearts. And we keep the both of you in our prayers for being responsible for 20 less children's names in the papers, on TV, that would have added to the loss of life. Thank you again to the both of you. We are sending so much love to you and your families. And you deserve everything that life has to offer to you.
Well guys, so that is just what happened during the floods. And seeing even these 2 girls being very bold, like, I don't know what I would, even at my age, I don't know what I would do if such a thing happens to me. I wouldn't even be able to think right. Honestly, I'm just one of those people that really do panic like very fast, get tense very fast, to a point it's like I'm frozen. So I really like these girls. They did a great job, because I know there are also so many other adults who are out there that would not even do the same thing that these girls did. They would run to save their lives, but what these girls did, it should be known out there. And I know there are people who are out there that are angry and saying that this should not be about immigrants or whatever, or where they belong, you know. And people are coming with this narrative that we are all humans and we all deserve love. First, I know that is a lie, especially from the people that I'm seeing with these comments on the comment section. And when you go through most of their pages, as you've seen one of the lady has done on this episode, they're the ones that are actually celebrating, or you know, what's happening to the Hispanic community in the United States of America. So are you happy that the Mexicans are getting deported? But when a Mexican or any other Hispanic person tries to save lives, you want to come out here and tell us it has nothing to do with the immigrants or where they come from, because we all deserve love and to be loved equally. When some of you are out here actually celebrating people being detained at Alcatraz, you know, some of them that are actually innocent people. If you're talking about love, and if you really believe that everyone needs to be loved equally, then most of you would not have voted for these people to be deported, some of them that are not criminals. So when people are actually coming out here and saying about where these two ladies come from, it's actually helping people change that narrative and that stereotype that has been put in your heads about Mexicans. You know, because if it were other people, these two young ladies, they really did great. If it were maybe other people, they would be like, no, they are doing this to my community. I don't care about what's going to happen to those kids. I mean, it's their parents that voted for this. Some of their parents that are actually celebrating what is happening. It would have been a different case. But these ladies, even with everything that is happening to their community, even with everything that the Mexicans and the other group of the Hispanic communities are actually facing, they didn't care about that at the moment. These, I think, and I feel like they are the only people in this case that should be telling us, apart from those people that are coming on the comment section, that are telling us that we should love all people equally and everyone should be treated equally. Because they would be talking of what they're actually practicing. They're treating everyone equally. They're loving everyone equally, you know, no matter the race, no matter the color, no matter how their community is being treated. They believe in treating each and every other human equally. They treat in giving love to each and every other human out there equally. And this should teach people a lesson, because when I see people getting angry at the comment section saying that it shouldn't be a case of race and where they are from, this is actually showing you how biased you are and how ungrateful you are to learn that the things that you've been thinking about other communities and the things that you've been knowing from the stereotypes that have been sold to you out there is different from what you see. I don't feel like anyone has a right to come and tell people who are creating videos that this has got nothing to do with where they're from, because honestly, if it was other people and they're facing this, it would have been a different case. Those kids are not entitled to have these women protecting them. You know, no one is entitled, even the parents, to have these women being there to protect their kids. They were not being paid for doing this. They did it out of a goodwill. They did it because they are good people with love and people that don't care about race, nationality, immigrants, legal or illegal, or whether you are a white American, a Mexican American, a black American. They don't care about that. All they care about is humanity. They just care about the human race, where you are just out here showing hatred towards the Hispanic community and being on the comment section and saying it doesn't matter. Honestly, in today's age and era, in a country like the United States of America, it does matter, because these are the videos that needs to be shown out there to remove this narrative and these stereotypes that people have or generalize the whole of the Hispanic community. They think just because a few of the Hispanic community are like this includes everyone. No, honestly, it doesn't. Just like I say, just because we have a big number of racist white people out there doesn't mean that every Caucasian person that you see out there is racist. Just because Mexicans are going through what they are going through doesn't mean that they are not good people. You even saw that Mexican came all the way to rescue these people. So this tells us a lot about them. It tells us about how they care about the human race and leaving out the rest of about color, about where you come from. All they just care is just want to see the human race doing good and each and every other human being out there being treated equally, despite their skin color, despite their nationality. I just saw this video and I thought it was okay to share with you guys, and I would really love to know what your thoughts are on the comment section. Also, let me know what you think about these people that are on the comment section that are saying it shouldn't be about where they come from or whether they are immigrants or whether they are of this color. For me, honestly, I believe with the stereotype that people have towards the Hispanic community, the Mexicans, the Latinos, like it should be put there very loud and clear for most of them to hear that it's not only the negative things that they know about the Hispanic community, there is also so much positive that they need to know about the Mexican community. Thank you so much for watching up to this part. Kindly consider subscribing if you haven't, and until the next episode, bye.